Hello, Oakwood. Welcome back to Sketching with Jennifer. It's our 7th day together. It is Tuesday, May 5th, 2020, and thanks for joining me today. I hope that you had time to sketch since yesterday, and I wanted to show you my drawing. Remember yesterday we talked about how we were feeling, and I was feeling heavy and weighted, and I was feeling some darkness. And so here's my Brontosaurus from yesterday. You can see that I went back into it quick. I spent about 20 minutes on this after the video ended, and I've added lots of swirls over top of the purple and pink pastels that I was using. And I also added blue because I thought I wanted a bit of color in there. So I added that. I added texture through pastels and marker to the Brontosaurus, and also added swirls down into the land down here, into the ground that the Brontosaurus is standing on. So it was really a quick drawing, a very process-oriented drawing, but really kind of got at that feeling I was feeling yesterday of being weighted and overwhelmed and feeling really heavy and, darkness in the times that have been recently. So I dated it down here in the corner, and on the back, I encourage you to write what the prompt was that we're working from, and I wrote the words, and I'll write some other things too, but I just wrote the words that I was thinking about as I started drawing my image. So I'd love to see what yours are, so send them my way through email if you can. Today we are looking at the idea of loneliness. Draw loneliness. What does loneliness mean to you? And so when I think about loneliness, I think back to my years as an Edgewood College art therapy student, and my professor, Lori Ellen Newstead. She loved the story, The Little Prince. You may remember the story of The Little Prince. He lived on his own planet. I don't know how he got there. I don't remember how he got there or why he was there all alone, but he was. And the story was by Anton de Saint-Exupéry. And I started my drawing, and I wanted to draw the little prince on his planet because I felt like that was an image, somebody else's image of loneliness. And when I think about loneliness, I think about him and how sad he always looked on his little planet. So I've drawn him here, and I am going to keep working on it as you're thinking about your idea of loneliness. What is loneliness to you? It can be so many things. If you don't know where to start, think about creating a list of words, or think about the images that pop into your mind and make a list of those and start there. Sometimes I borrow images from people, and I think that's okay because it helps me look and see. Of course, I wouldn't use this in any other way but in my personal sketchbook. But I think sometimes it's okay to be inspired by somebody else's imagery, as I often am. And so for loneliness today, I borrowed The Little Prince from the story, The Little Prince. He wasn't always alone. There were flowers with him, and he could look out and see the universe. And I believe there was even a visitor, and also a rose became, I think, kind of the love of his life, the rose that grew on the planet. I didn't put her on here, but I do have him in his little green suit and his little red bow tie. I'm going to add color as we work. So grab your sketchbooks, get arting, and I always love when I'm watching a video or learning from an artist, what supplies are they using? So I want to share what I'm using today. I have used just a regular 2B pencil, like I talked about before, just regular 2B pencil. What I'm finding is I'm really frustrated with the erasers that are on top of the pencils on these particular sketchbooks. When I erase, it leaves yellow or orange smudges, and I'm not really a big fan of that. So I also grabbed a white eraser from my drawer, and so I'm using that, and the white eraser doesn't leave those kind of smudges, so I'm pretty happy with that. So if you have the opportunity to use some kind of other eraser, probably a pink pearl or other erasers kind of along those lines would help, or a rubber, a gray rubber kneaded eraser would work, or sometimes just a really good eraser on top of a pencil, sometimes a white eraser on top of a pencil. But for whatever reason, this paper does not like these orangish kind of pink erasers on top of our pencils. If you've found a good eraser that you would recommend, let me know, and I'll let others know too. I also found these really great Prismacolors. I got them for Christmas, and they're wonderful. And I always thought it would be really nice to invest in a nice set of Prismacolors. And I found these, and they're wonderful. So they're Prismacolors, but they're also you can use them as watercolors. So they're water soluble. They're pretty nice. Someone recently said, really invest in Prismacolors because they're so much better than any other colored pencil you could use, and there's something to that. They're really soft and they're really nice. So that's what I'm using today. Typically, I'd use a Crayola because I love the sharp colors that they'll give you. But I'm going to use what I have here in my home studio, which are these Prismacolors. So I'm going to work on my little prints, and watch me as I work, or please start on your image. So when I think of the Little Prince, he has his own little planet here, his own little world, and he must have at times felt so isolated and alone. And he probably even wondered what kind of world was out there, what existed. Well, you and I know what kind of world is out there for each of us, but we're kind of like this little prince, stuck in our own little world, isolated and not able to see all of the people we love and enjoy in our lives. So the Little Prince is coming to life here. I love that the author and illustrator used really simple colors. The Little Prince was really the focus, the central focus of the images in the book. Hopefully you each were able to enjoy the weather, the nice weather we've been having in the past couple of days, and that you got out at some point or looked out your window to just feel a little bit better and not so alone. Okay, I'm adding his little red bow tie. So I wonder, as I work, what kind of art supplies you're finding that you like working with best. What kind of art supplies you're finding work best in your little sketchbook, or if you are veering from the sketchbook and using other paper or other kinds of supplies. I'd love to hear about that. Any suggestions you have would be great to hear, so I can share them with you and all of you who are listening and watching. It's really great to share art ideas, the successes, the failures, and everything in between. I made mistakes along the way, and the great and fun Bob Ross, the great painter Bob Ross, who had his own painting series on television for many years on PBS, would say there are no mistakes, there are only happy accidents. I like that a lot. So I really encourage you to not find any mistakes in your work, but happy little accidents that you change into something else. So I've had many little happy accidents along the way in this artwork as well as others, and I will continue to make those little happy mistakes and change them into other things. One thing I encourage you to do is to try not to erase. That's a huge challenge for me. I like to get rid of lines I don't think I need, or things I think are a mistake, or things that don't quite look right to me when I look at it. But I encourage you to leave them there if you can and transform them as you go. See what happens. Okay, so there is the beginning of my Little Prince, the beginning of my, it's not coming into, sorry about that. The lighting is a little bit difficult at times. There we go. There is the beginning of my idea of loneliness. I love to go back in and work with pen, that Gelocity Bic pen that I showed you the other day. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to come back to it, and I'm going to show you tomorrow what this looks like. So tomorrow, join me. I'm going to show you my puppets, and we're going to have a new art process to work on. And I'll tell you all about that tomorrow. If you get a chance, please check out Stephanie Manui's Create Like the Greats at 3 p.m. today. It's a fun little intro to art history. I don't know who the artist is today, but it will be great. And Faye, her daughter, is very fun and so excited about reaching out to Oakwood and helping us all through the process of art. So tune in if you can. It airs again on Thursday at 3 o'clock. So if you catch it today at 3, gather up some supplies and then do it again on Thursday, you can make your artwork. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Happy art making. Thanks.